No more death, no more sorrow, no more crying. I've done so many funerals. So many. From infants who were stillborn, there's hardly anything more heartbreaking than to officiate over the funeral of a baby. And some of you have experienced that. You've buried your own. There's hardly anything in my experience that is as heartbreaking to see that father carrying that little casket, just the daddy. I've officiated over babies to the aged, the grandfathers, the grandmothers. I've gone into hospitals and I've held the hand of my own uncles. I can still remember going in to see my Uncle Ray. My aunt had called and said, "Can you come and see your uncle? He's going to go home to be with the Lord." And I went to hospital in Riverside, and I came in there, and the waiting room was filled with cousins that I'd never even met. So many I had never even met. And I walked in, there's my blood relatives all around me, and they said, "Can you come over here?" And they took me into my uncle's room, and my Aunt Billy was there, and I love my Aunt Billy so much. And as I walked in, she looks at me and she says to me, "Mijo, can you pray for your uncle?" I said, "Of course." And she said, he can't really hear you, so you're going to have to speak loudly like a Rosales." And it made me laugh, because this was the uncle who used to scare me, because he had a real loud voice. And when he talked to me, it was like but he was also very tender. And so he had a real loud voice, but a tender one. When my dad would talk on the phone, like you had to hold the phone away from your ear, because my dad talked so loud. "David, what are you doing?" I'm going deaf, Dad, Bring your voice down a little bit. So I was thinking she says that. And I go walking in, and I'm there, and she's telling them, "Talk loudly like Rosales." And I laughed and I smiled. And there's my uncle, who was, at one time, he was a truck driver for many years, a very powerful man, very broad shoulders. He had black, thick hair, beautiful black manicured mustache. And there he was. He had gone through chemo, and he was dying of cancer, so he had his mustache, his hair was gone. He was sallow. He weighed less than 100 pounds, and he was about to go home to be with the Lord. And she said, he hasn't spoken all day. And then she turns to my uncle, and she says, "David's here. He's going to pray for you." And he woke up for a moment, and he said, "Pray." And I took my uncle by the hand, and I quoted John 14. I have quoted this passage at a lot of bedsides where I've officiated over the death of those whom I've loved, including my uncles and others. "Let not your heart be troubled. Jesus Christ has prepared a place for you, absent from the body, present with the Lord." And I have shared that so many times. And it's a place where there is no sorrow, there are no tears, there is no sickness, there will be no pain. All of that is gone. All of it. Not another sad moment, not another second of depression, not another painful experience, not another tear. He'll wipe your eyes, your tears. And to me, that is a great promise, to know that. The psalmist in Psalm 16:11 said, "You will show me the path of life. In your presence is fullness of joy. At your right hand are pleasures forevermore." Heaven is preferred over earth. Heaven is a place filled with glory beyond description. Eye has not seen, ear has not heard, nor has it entered into the heart of man the things that God has prepared for those who love Him. It's beyond your description. It's beyond words. I've had opportunity now over the years that I've lived to see beautiful places. I've gone to see some beautiful places. Everybody who's gone to Hawaii will bear witness how beautiful Hawaii truly is. I've been to Switzerland. I've gone to Lake Geneva. I've stood there on Lake Geneva and I've looked at the beautiful mountains surrounding it, the snow caps, and it's absolutely beautiful. I've been in southern France. I've been in Scotland. I've been all over the world, and I have seen some absolutely beautiful places, unbelievable places in terms of creative beauty. And I see the wonders of God in the wonder of His creation. And yet heaven is far beyond anything we've seen on earth. It's beyond anything that we could ever describe. In Romans 8, verse 18, Paul said, I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. Heaven is beyond anything we can describe. And not only that, it's a place of glad reunions. It's a place where we have an opportunity to see those who have gone before. You know, one of the very true statements that a Christian can make when they are there at the deathbed of a loved one is they can say that I don't have to say goodbye to you, because it's not goodbye, it's I'll see you later. Because in our relationships with Christ and with them, we know that there will be a time when we're reunited with them. We'll see them again because they love the Lord and they're going on to heaven, and they're just going before us. That's all there is to it. They're there before us. We will see them again. I look forward to that. One of these days, and it isn't that long from now, I'll be able to meet my grandfather. My mama tells me her daddy used to read the Bible every day. My mama has my grandfather's Bible, and he's got his little notes in it. And my grandfather died when my mom was around 13, 14 years of age. I never met my grandfather, but my mama tells me that my grandfather, her daddy, was a believer in Jesus Christ. I'll get a chance to see my dad again, who went to be with the Lord. I'll have an opportunity to see my father-in-law, who went to be with the Lord. Some of you know this. In the first 6 years of marriage, Marie and I had 5 pregnancies. I have 4 children alive and 1 in heaven. She miscarried. And for me, I'll get an opportunity to have a reunion with the baby I never had a chance to hold here. And I look forward to that. I really do. I really do. I get a chance to see the baby that I never saw here. And I look forward to that. Glad reunions. Happy reunions. Blessed reunions. That's what heaven is. The Bible tells us in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verses 13 and 14, I don't want you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning those who have fallen asleep, lest you sorrow as others who have no hope. For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so God will bring with Him those who sleep in Jesus. Glad reunions. We have an opportunity to see those who have gone before us. One of the great things about heaven is it's the place that we will finally have the bodies we wish we had. I'm looking forward to that very much. No more diets. Philippians 3:21 says that He will transform our lowly body, that it may be conformed to His glorious body, according to the working by which He's able even to subdue all things to Himself. We will have these glorious bodies. It's a place where we receive heavenly rewards. We know that we are not saved by works, but we are saved unto good works, and we will receive a reward for our faithfulness. We know that. Jesus in Revelation 22:12 says, I am coming soon, and my reward is with me, and I will give to everyone according to what he has done. So that knowledge that we receive rewards is what provokes us to live a life disciplined to serving Him. I wonder how many of you have been watching the Olympics. Anybody here watching the Olympics? I've been watching the Olympics, you know. And Michael Phelps, that man can swim. Can't he swim? That man can swim. Took me a long time to teach him, but he can sure swim. Like his brother David. No, he's a great swimmer, isn't he? But you know what? I was sharing on Wednesday about that, and I said, you know, do you think that Michael just one day decided to walk up to the pool, jump in, and he's now an Olympic world record holder? Just kind of like, yeah, I feel like swimming today. No, that came through years of discipline. It came through years of working out. It came through dedicating his life to a goal of being the best that he could possibly be.